Alright, welcome back. Today we're continuing to rank every Beyblade in Metal Fusion. In the last video we left off at number 11, and on this one we are ranking the top 10. Starting off at number 10, I put Rock Leone. Now overall, Rock Leone is a solid Beyblade. However, there are two reasons why I couldn't put him any higher on the list. First reason, his performance tip is doesn't have enough traction for him to sit in the middle. Often what'll happen is he will get thrown out of the stadium or he'll get bossed around in the middle. Second reason, he is a little too tall as a defender. So what'll happen is that he'll end up in these stamina games against other types that are better at stamina, and he will lose that way. And at number 9, we have one of my all-time favorites, El Drago. Now, El Drago was kind of hard to rank because he's kind of an inconsistent attack type. Sometimes he'll be knocking Beyblades out, or other times he's the one getting knocked out. So it was kind of hard to gauge on how good he actually is. And after a lot of testing and stuff, he has a lot of good qualities that you really can't find in other attack types. First one is that he tends to be a harder hitter than the other ones, and I think it's because of the wheel here, and it being left rotating also probably helps with these blades here. So it gives him more power. And the second thing is that he's also low to the ground, so he can get under a lot of other like defenders, and that's just the death of a lot of Beyblades. Is as soon as you get under them, you can beat them a lot easier. Another thing that I noticed is that he tends to have more stamina than other attack types, and I think that's due to his left rotation, in that he's continuing to build that momentum as the game progresses. And number 8, I put Dark Dasher. Now I put Dark Dasher on number 8 for two reasons. One is that he can stay low to the ground with his spin track, obviously. And number 2 is that he has really good, I wouldn't say really good, but he has decent stamina to where he can hang in the game long enough to be a threat. And every time, that's always going to be kind of a safe bet, is having decent stamina and being low to the ground, because this allows him to get underneath opponents. Now, with him having a dark wheel, that kind of limits him in that capacity, but he can still block the majority of attacks being at this height. You can adjust this and make him a little taller, but it's not really, I mean, it adds some stamina, I think, but it's not really worth it. And number 7, I put Earth Virgo. Now, I put Earth Virgo this high for two reasons. First one is he has great stamina. Obviously, he's the stamina type. Second one is he has really good stability. So he can sit in the middle and hold that position for against most Beyblades for a very long time. And that allows him to control that middle ground for the entire match. Now, the cons. The first thing is that any Beyblade that gets under him will just, well, most Beyblades will just beat him that way. Because if they don't do that, he will win. The game goes into the long game, and then he just wins that way. But any Beyblade that gets under him is going to beat him. And at number 6, I have Rock Scorpio. Now, I put Scorpio this high for two reasons. First one is that he's low to the ground, so he's going to be able to hit underneath and punish a lot of Beyblades. And the second reason is his performance tip is very interesting. It gives him stability while also kind of acting like a more aggressive Beyblade. So he will be cruising around in the match and be punishing Beyblades sometimes, and the spikes will allow him to also keep his hold the middle for a very long time, or hold his position for a while. Now, with having a performance tip like this, it causes him to have less stamina, and that's ultimately his biggest downfall. And at number 5, I have Rock Orso. Now, he's this high for many of the same reasons that Rock Scorpio is this high. He is low to the ground, great defender, but the difference between the two is the performance tip. And in my opinion, Orso is better because his performance tip allows him to actually have more stamina, and that allows him to go into the long game a lot better. And at number 4, I have Evil Geminos, and this was pretty shocking actually, because as a balance type, I didn't think it was really going to be that good. Because if you think about it, it's basically the same as um, Dark Wolf, but it has a different wheel on it, and it's way better than I thought it was going to be. It's good against basically everything. It has good stamina, great stability, and the wheel has just enough attack power to where it can ward off defenders. And by defenders, I mean like any Beyblade, but like it can also ward off defense types because of this part that hangs down kind of defends against the when they try to get under him. Not that it really matters because he has really good stamina, so he can play the long game as well. He's only really bad against, I guess, stamina types or any Beyblade that has higher stamina. But other than that, it's one of the best Beyblades in the series. And at number 3, I have Thermal Pisces. Now, Thermal Pisces is basically everything that Liber is, but better somehow. Um, it's got more weight, and the wheel allows it to block from underneath and also take punishment from the side as well. It obviously is going to win the long game every time because it's a stamina type. And for some reason, it can also block against underneath attacks very well. So it's going to hold its own against basically every type. The only type that it's kind of weak against is defense types, but even then, it's just a well rounded Beyblade. And at number 2, we have one of my all time favorite Beyblades, and that is Rock Aries. Now, I know I've probably said that like 10 times in both these videos, but this time, like, I really mean it. So, Rock Aries is really good against every other type, and there's a couple reasons why. One is that it's very heavy. Like this is a dense boy right here. It has the performance tip from Orso, which gives it not only more stamina but also great stability. And this you would think that this spin track would suck, but it's actually pretty good somehow because he can block attacks from below and basically prevent them from doing whatever they're doing down there. So he's great against other defense. He is the best defense type in the series, and it's not even close. He can beat any of them, and he has many times. Now, you would think that the spin track would make it a little too tall to be competitive still, but that's just incorrect. It is just the right height to where it can stand toe to toe with other opponents, and it can still get under the like stamina types and other defenders as well. And at number 1, we have Earth Eagle. Earth Eagle is the most ridiculous Beyblade in this series because he never loses. I mean, out of all the matches that I did, which was over 100 with each Beyblade. He lost, I think, maybe once or twice. Like, it is insane, like, how many times Beyblade wins. Now, I'm going to dive into the science to why this Beyblade is so good, and there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, it has good weight, so it can sit there and hold the middle against anyone for a very long period of time. Literally, no one can like throw this guy around. Number two is his performance tip. It is it's crazy because like when he's about to get thrown out, he'll stop at like the edge and then come back in. Like he just never gets thrown out, hardly. It also has ridiculous stamina and defense. His spin track is just the right height to where he cannot be punished by the like defense types, and he can stand toe to toe with stamina types for a very long time. It's crazy. There is, I don't think a single, he has like no bad matchups. For all those other Beyblades, I'm like, yeah, they're weak against this or they're weak against that. Eagle, it's not bad against anything. It's good against everything. It literally almost never loses. It's insane. All right, guys, if you've enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.